Hello and welcome to the Wednesday edition of The Box Seat. I'm Mark Warwood. 7 races at Belmont on Wednesday. Let's have a look at the likely conditions. We're expecting some showers, but they'll probably be late in the day, 22 degrees Celsius. I therefore think the track will be a good 4 and the rail, I'm certain it will be at the 12-metre position. Race number 1 at Belmont on Wednesday will jump at 1:49. It's the free entry to Belmont Park handicap over 1,300 metres. Let's have a look at the trial of Tuscan Queen.
Is eyeballing the lead along with back on the inside Joyrise, pulling out 3 wide to try and let go as Pretty Friar. Just up behind them is Eeyore Ways, but taking over Levitate, bounds away from Pretty Friar. Joyrise further back was Eeyore Ways, nothing getting into the fight from further back. Tuscan Queen heads them but down to the line. Levitate 3 lengths up and wins comfortably.
It's not often you see Bob Peters active at the sales, but he spent $300,000 on Tuscan Queen, this daughter of Fast Netrike. He's had a couple of trials. The first one was behind Montalina that came out and won pretty impressively, and the last one we saw was behind Levitate. That was one of the faster trials of the day. I really like what Tuscan Queen was doing towards the line here. I think might get the job done in race number 1. Goes on top from number 1, Pure Dynamite, who races against his own age group for the first time since the Karrakatta plate. Finished 11th in the Group 2 feature last season. Was a little bit disappointing last start. Maybe it was the wet track, and he goes up in trip from the 1,000 to 1,300. Emilius Contraire was a good winner of a midweek race 2 starts ago, but then flopped in Saturday grade. The blinkers have been on this preparation, but I'm not convinced about this horse. Does look like the likeliest leader, however. And number 2, Fura. The blinkers go on. This horse has been gelded. He's had 4 trials, 3 of them recently. Hasn't won any of them, but comes from that informed yard of Darren McAuliffe, the Group 1 winning trainer, Darren McAuliffe. Race number 1 at Belmont. My top selection is number 6, Tuscan Queen, to beat 1, Pure Dynamite, 3, Emilius Contraire and 2, Fura. Race number 2 at Belmont on Wednesday will jump at 2:24. It's the Tap Touch Better Your Bet Maiden over 1,200 metres. There's 1 debutant in the field. Let's have a look at the trial of Oceans 15.
Guess so as they enter the home straight and back to the inside is What Planet You On. Racing inside the 300 though, and Oceans 15 looks to be doing it pretty well. It leads by 1. Noski starting to come through with Blacktastic in the centre, and down the outside is Princess Zuri battling on, and then Guess So, but doing it very easily over the final stages. Oceans 15 and races home to beat Blacktastic and Guess So.
The Gungemi racing team have been very patient with Oceans 15. They paid $100,000 for this horse out of New Zealand. It's the full brother of Super Maxi, who races in the same colours and has won a listed race here in Perth. Debuts after 3 trials, 1 each of them. They've been spread out as well, one as early as September last year, and then the latest on the 26th of August. This doesn't look like the deepest of fields, and I think Oceans 15, if he's got any type of ability, certainly that of his big brother, should be winning this. Goes on top from number 5, Warbler. The blinkers go on Wednesday for this horse. Races in the colours of Grant and Alana Williams. Was a really good rating last start after beating Celia Torre, both in a trial in a race. With the blinkers on, he's clearly the main danger. That brings me to number 6, Celia Torre. Fastest last 600 and 800 metres from off the speed last start, but has to turn the tables with Warbler, not once but twice. And then from the same yard, the Moreton yard, I'm going to go with number 3, Sulphur Crested for 4th. First up on Wednesday, hasn't had a trial, was placed in each of its last 3 starts at various tracks. Top selection in race number 2 is number 2, Oceans 15, to beat 5, Warbler, 6, Celia Torre and 3, Sulphur Crested. Race number 3 at Belmont on Wednesday will jump at 2:59. It's the Ascot Racing Carnival handicap over the 1,200 metres. This is a good race. Let's have a look at the last start win of Bobcat Johnny.
Outside now is Tampering Falls with its run. Pike goes back to the inside with Warbler, and cutting back there as well as Beret, but Bobcat Johnny led them down by the 250 from Tampering Falls, and then Warbler back on the inside behind them. Beret not doing enough for the moment. It's still Bobcat Johnny with 100 left to go, holding Warbler. Beret down near the inside, but Bobcat Johnny kept going, and Bobcat Johnny was too good for them first up.
That was a mighty training performance by Anne King to get Bobcat Johnny up to win first up. He'd had nearly 600 days off. He's a 7-year-old. He's only had the 3 starts, but it was a pretty impressive win beating Warbler, who we'll see in race number 2. The ratings are really good. I think Bobcat Johnny can go on with it here. The biggest danger looks like being number 4, Eurotrip. Fourth up, he's back to the 1200 on Wednesday. Won with the fastest sections over the 1200 2 starts ago, and then didn't really have the best of luck behind Locomotive last start. Clearly has got some ability. I think this is a better than average Wednesday race for the Class 1s. Number 5 is Capasso Bay. I think this horse has got a fair bit of talent. First up, hasn't had a trial. Blinkers went off at the end of last preparation. They go back on Wednesday. Clearly got ability, has had issues, may want a little bit further, but I do want her in the numbers. And then number 3, Strasmore, drops back in class after finishing 3rd at Northern last start. Has had issues in every run this preparation. I don't think it's going to be winning this race, but will be competitive on the speed. Top selection in race number 3, going to stick with number 1 here, Bobcat Johnny, to beat number 4, Eurotrip, 5, Picasso Bay, and 3, Strasmore. Race number 4 at Belmont on Wednesday. We'll jump at 3:35. It's the Privé Fashion Platform Handicap over 1650 metres. Privé Fashion Platform, that is next Wednesday at Ascot Racecourse. In replay, let's have a look at the last start performance of Tonka Tough.
And towards the tail is Mrs. Hartley into the home straight. Next stop, the Moon led them at the 300. Abbey Lane joined it very quickly though, and they've quickly put 2 lengths on Tonka Tough. Stairway to the Moon, but Abbey Lane now gains the upper hand, coming to the 150. Abbey Lane 3/4 Stairway to the Moon. Tonka Tough digs in hard down the outside, but now Abbey Lane extends for Pike, and there's his treble. Abbey Lane.
Brad Graham as his team absolutely flying at the moment, and Tonka Tough has put up 2 very good performances. Won 2 starts ago beating Flower of Scotland, and then last start was wide all of the way. Fastest last 600 in spite of the tough run to only go down by half a length in this grade. I think he's one of the better bets on the card, Tonka Tough, and he goes on top here. I think a danger might be Decoy Noxious here. First up without a trial, hasn't had a run for 20 weeks, but he won first up last preparation without a trial. It was a good rating as well. It was over slightly further, the 1800 metres, but 1650 is right in his alley here. I think Decoy Noxious can run a race. Number 5, Murray the Bulldogs on the quick backup. He finished 3rd at Belmont last start behind Laurentinio when he led for the first time this preparation. And then number 1, Deception Game, gets a few positive ticks here. The blinkers go on and gets Jade McNaught as well, but most of his wins have been in low rating races, and I think Tonka Tough is one of those gallopers that's a borderline Saturday horse. Top selection in race number 4 is number 3, Tonka Tough, to beat 2, Decoy Noxious, 5, Murray the Bulldog, and 1, Deception Game.